So now we move on to the bass drum. So we're going to remove the heads first, and we do that in the same way we did with the toms. So on the bass drum we've got a hoop, but it's a thicker wooden hoop. We've still got the tension rods going into lugs here, so we've got longer tension rods, and we've got clasps holding the hoop down. Okay, so we've got 8 lugs on this bass drum, just like we did with the floor tom. So we're going to pick 2 opposite lugs. Okay, release those first. And then we're going to pick the lugs which are parallel to those 2. Then another pair of opposites. And then the final pair of opposites. Okay, now you should be able to release those with your fingers once you've loosened them enough. So we check the bearing edge of the bass drum. Then we got the batter head here. So normally a kick pad comes with a batter head. So I've got a kick pad tucked in here. So we're going to put that on at the end. So just put it to the side for now, if you're putting on a new head, that is. And also with the kick drum or the bass drum, we like a more focused sound. So we want less overtones. We want to get rid of some of those overtones. So on this batter head, I've got integrated muffling here. So I've got a ring, an extra ring of material around the outside, which is where the overtones are. Okay, so that increases the weight and the thickness at that point of the drum head, which is going to reduce those overtones. Okay, so it gives it a damping, muffling effect. So we call that integrated muffling. So I've got that on my batter head. Okay, so I'm going to put the batter head on first, and you want to match the logo of the drum head up with the top of the drum, okay, as if you were seated at the drum. Okay, so the top of the drum here. So I'm going to line up that logo. Just push down a little bit to make sure it's seated on the bearing edge nicely. You might need to move the legs out the way as well. So I'm just going to loosen these legs out the way. So press down a little, make sure it's seated evenly. So there's a bit more movement in the bass drum head here. Okay, then hoop goes on top. So with the batter side, you just want to find the where the bass drum pedal goes. So you might have a protective bit of material on your hoop here. So you want to make sure that's at the bottom. So the opposite side to the logo of the drum head. And then we're going to pick 2 opposites and finger tighten the hoop down onto the head. Then the parallel opposites. Then another pair of opposites. And then the final pair of opposites. Apply a little bit of pressure onto the head, just to pre-stretch it a little, and also just to make sure it's seated nicely on the bearing edge, and then just make sure all the lugs are still finger tight. And now do the exact same with the resonant head. So before putting on the resonant head, you want to put in any internal damping into the bass drum first. So I've got a bass drum pillow, so it's velcroed down to the shell here. Okay, so this is made so both sides of the pillow touch each drum head. So one side's going to touch the batter head, the other side's going to touch the resonant head, and that's just going to reduce the vibration of the head even more. Okay, so that's going to reduce the resonance of the drum and focus the sound. So you can use a bass drum pillow, you could use just a standard normal pillow, you can use a rolled up blanket as long as it's touching both drum heads. Okay, and obviously the more weight that's touching the head, the more it's going to reduce the vibration and reduce the resonance of the drum. Okay, so you want to make sure you get the right amount. You don't want too much, you don't want too little. It depends on the sound you're going after. So you might want more resonance where you don't want any internal muffling at all. Okay, but if you want that more focused, punchy bass drum sound, you want to put in a little bit of internal muffling as well. Okay, so we've got that integrated muffling of the batter head and also the internal muffling of the bass drum pillow. So you want to put that in first of all. Then when you put on the resonant head, you want to make sure the logo of the resonant head lines up with the top of the drum. Press down, make sure it's sitting on the bearing edge nicely. And then hoop on. And then you want to screw the tension rods and clasps into each lug. So the bass drum's different to the toms in that there's a wider range of pitches that we can use for the bass drum. So because we generally use a little bit of damping and muffling in the bass drum to get that more focused sound, we don't need to choose a pitch where we're getting a lot of resonance. Okay, so there's a lot of variances with the bass drum as well, like the diameter obviously and also the depth. Also whether you use a porthole on your resonant head. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through a kind of general versatile bass drum sound. So obviously you've got a choice when you tune the bass drum. You can go kind of boomy, you can go for more of a thud, you can get a punchier bass drum, you can go for a kind of more open resonant tone if you want to sort of take out the damping. Okay, it really depends on what you're looking for in terms of the style of music you play and obviously the style of drummer you are. Okay, so my bass drum here is 20 inches in diameter, it's 16 inches deep. Okay, so I'm going to tune my drum to the kind, well, to a few sort of pitches just so you can see the sort of range my drum can get. Now for a kind of general versatile bass drum sound, you want to tune your resonant head up a little higher than your batter head. Okay, so in terms of interval, you want your resonant head about a perfect fifth higher. Okay, so we're at finger tight now in both the batter head and the resonant head, so both heads are at about the same pitch. We're going to listen to the drum now, and obviously we're going to increase the tension just so you can hear the range of pitches that you can use for the bass drum. So obviously with the bass drum we don't strike it with a drumstick, we use the bass drum beater on the bass drum pedal. So you can use your pedal if you want, but because we're obviously listening to the drum at different pitches, to save you kind of putting the pedal on and taking it off, you can use a mallet if you like, okay? This kind of it sort of replicates a bass drum beater. Okay, so you can use a mallet just to kind of get that bass drum beater sound. So that's what I'm going to use. So let's listen to the drum now at finger tight in both the batter head and resonant head. So even at that loose tension, the pitch actually sounds okay. It's still definitely a little bit flat, so we're going to take up the tension a little more. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the tension of both the batter head and the resonant head by a quarter turn. So you want to pick two opposites. And then the same on the resonant head. So like I said, my resonant head hasn't got a porthole, so a porthole just increases the projection of your drum, but at the cost of a little bit of tone. So it's just whether you want more projection or more tone, whether you choose to have one. Most people kind of, well, it's more common to see a porthole on a resonant bass drum head. Okay, so now I've increased the tension of both heads so that they're still at the same, well, about the same pitch. Okay, let's listen to how the drum sounds now, quarter turn increased in tension. So that sounds a bit better, a bit boomier, so we're getting more tone, a little more resonance from the drum as we've increased the tension. So we'll take up the both heads the same amount again, so we'll increase both by a quarter turn. Start with the batter head, same with the resonant head. Okay, let's listen to how it sounds now. So that sounds okay. So at the minute we've got both heads at about the same tension, so about the same pitch. So like I said before, we want the resonant head to be tuned up a little higher, so we want that interval of about a perfect fifth. So we're going to increase the tension of both heads again. We're going to increase the batter head by a quarter turn, but we're going to increase the resonant head by a half turn. Okay, so we're going to turn that twice as much just to get that interval between the two heads. Okay, so let's start with the batter head. So a quarter turn on the batter head. And then a half turn on the resonant head. So again, we want to do it in increments. So you want to take up quarter first of all on each lug. And then another quarter turn. So half in total. Okay, let's hear how that sounds. So that's giving a more balanced sound. We're getting better interplay now between the batter head and the resonant head. Okay, so we're going to keep that interval between the two heads. We're just going to increase both heads now by the same amount, and we're just going to take it through some different tensions just so you can hear the variance in the tone of the bass drum. And then you want to put your kick pad on the batter head where the beat is going to make contact with the head. Okay, and that's just going to increase the durability of your head. So like I said, there's a bigger range of pitches to choose from for your bass drum. Okay, so it all comes down to whether you want a boomier sound, you want a more kind of punchy sound, you want more of a thud, you want a more open resonant sound. Okay, so that would mean you want less damping. You might even want to tune it up tighter so you get more of a ringy sound. It all comes down to the style of player you are and also the style of music you're playing.